Credit cards, a blessing and a curse, laughing through the debt. In this hilarious yet informative solo podcast, we explore the love-hate relationship with credit cards. From the thrill of high limits to the horror of interest rates, we delve into the humorous side of credit card rewards, payments, and embarrassing moments. Learn practical tips, laugh at relatable stories, and avoid common credit card traps, all while optimizing for global marketing strategies. Alright folks, grab your credit cards, because today we're diving into the wild world of plastic. Credit cards, they're a blessing and a curse, like that pizza you regret eating at 3 a.m., but somehow still enjoy every time. We've all been there, right? The excitement of that $1,000 credit limit, followed by the dreaded bill that haunts you like a horror movie villain. Today, we're going to laugh at the absurdities of credit cards, but we'll also throw in a few tips to make sure they don't completely ruin your life or your wallet. Disclaimer: the Great Declined Card Incident. So, I was at a coffee shop the other day. Picture this: I'm feeling all fancy, ordering a $6 caramel macchiato like I'm some kind of VIP. I swipe my card with total confidence, you know, that I've got this kind of swipe. But then, the machine flashes red. My heart sinks. It says, declined. And I'm like, what? No way. The barista looks at me like I just tried to pay with Monopoly money. She asks if I have another card, but the only other card I have is a punch card for free coffee, which, you know, isn't going to cut it. I had to awkwardly tell her I'd forgotten my wallet and walk out like I just committed a robbery. Moral of the story: always double check your credit before you go out like you're made of money. The cashback trap. So, I signed up for this amazing cashback credit card. They told me, spend $500 and get 2% cashback. And I thought, wow, I'm gonna be rich. But here's the thing: I started buying everything just to earn that cashback: groceries, a new jacket, a fancy dinner. Fast forward a month later, and I've spent way more than $500. I get my cashback reward, and it's $10. I've essentially bought a $500 jacket to get a $10 refund. It felt like when you spend 30 minutes assembling IKEA furniture, only to realize you did it wrong, and the table's still wobbly. Moral of the story: cashback is like a 90s infomercial. Sounds amazing until you realize the only one making money is the company, not you. The minimum payment trap. I remember this one time when I thought I was being so smart, just making the minimum payment on my credit card bill. I was like, hey, I'm saving money, right? But then, a few months later, I get a letter from the credit card company saying, congratulations, your balance is now almost as high as your student loan debt. I had spent months paying just the minimum, and it felt like I was in a bad relationship. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't escape. Moral of the story: the minimum payment is the credit card company's way of saying, you're not getting away from us, buddy. The $1,000 credit limit roller coaster. Alright, picture this: first time I got a credit card, they gave me a $1,000 limit. And I felt like I had just been handed the keys to the kingdom. Like, $1,000. I could buy anything. So, naturally, I immediately went to the mall, bought a bunch of stuff I didn't need, and felt like the coolest person in town. But then, the bill came. I stared at the number and thought, wait, I spent that much. Suddenly, my $1,000 credit limit felt more like a $1,000 time bomb. Moral of the story: that initial high is great until the reality of the bill sets in, and suddenly, you're counting the days until payday like it's a countdown to a reality show elimination. Travel rewards gone wrong. I got this travel rewards card because, you know, everyone says, you can travel the world for free. So I'm collecting miles like I'm building a museum of frequent flyer points. One day, I finally try to redeem them for a plane ticket, only to find out that I can't afford the taxes and fees with my miles. So, I'm sitting there, looking at my free ticket, and realizing the only thing free about it is the hope that maybe one day, I'll have enough miles for a cup of airport coffee. Moral of the story: travel rewards cards are like getting a golden ticket, but then realizing it's for the kiddie train in the corner of the theme park. The accidental spending spree. So, I'm sitting on the couch, scrolling through my phone, and I get this notification: your credit card's been approved for an increased limit. Naturally, I feel like a king. Suddenly, I'm online shopping for things I don't need: throw pillows, fancy kitchen gadgets, random stuff that I'll never use. Next thing I know, I've spent $400 in one sitting, and it wasn't even on a big ticket item. Just a bunch of stuff I thought was cute. I'm sitting there with my order confirmation, staring at it, and thinking, did I just single-handedly keep Amazon in business for the next quarter? Moral of the story: the increase in credit limit might feel like a blessing, but it's really just an invitation to live your life as a walking advertisement for impulse buying. The credit card reward chasing disaster. I've done it. I've fallen into the trap of chasing credit card rewards. The one time I was so obsessed with hitting that bonus for signing up for a new card that I started buying things just for the reward points. I remember buying a blender I didn't need because it was on sale and would get me the points I needed for that sweet bonus. Then, my blender sat in the kitchen collecting dust while I stared at the pile of reward points I earned for literally spending money I didn't need to spend. Moral of the story: credit card rewards are like playing Monopoly. You get excited at first, but in the end, you're just looking for ways to get out of the game without losing too much. Why credit cards are a blessing and a curse. Let's face it, credit cards can be your best friend or your worst enemy. They give you the ability to buy what you want, when you want, but they also give you the ability to dig yourself into debt faster than you can say minimum payment due. Think of them like that friend who convinces you to go out partying, and suddenly you're spending your rent money on tequila shots. Blessing or curse? You decide. I once maxed out my first credit card buying concert tickets and overpriced snacks. I was living the dream until the bill came. Suddenly, that dream turned into a nightmare. Sound familiar? The excitement of a $1,000 credit limit until the bill comes. At first, a $1,000 credit limit feels like you just hit the jackpot. But then, you swipe and swipe until you realize, wait a second, I'm not buying a vacation, I'm buying my way into debt. The bill comes, and suddenly, you wish you'd stuck to saving those dollars for actual things like food and rent. Credit card rewards: why you'll spend $500 to earn a $5 coffee. The joys of credit card rewards. We all think we're going to save the world with those miles or points until we find out we've spent $500 just to get a $5 coffee. It's like being in a relationship with someone who keeps promising you the world but always shows up with a bouquet of weeds. Reward yourself with coffee, but remember those rewards aren't as free as they seem. Real life example. I spent a weekend shopping for rewards points and ended up with a coffee mug collection I didn't even want. Not the reward I was hoping for. The truth about interest rates: they're just legalized punishment. Interest rates: the reason you'll never pay off your credit card debt. They make you feel like you're winning by only paying the minimum payment, but trust me, you're just giving away your future for a small moment of joy today. It's like playing a game of Monopoly where the rules are rigged and you always land on the hotel. The fear of checking your credit card statement after a shopping spree. Let's talk about that dreaded moment when you've spent more than you should have, and you know it. You open your statement, hoping for the best, but it's always worse than you imagined. It's like stepping on the scale after the holidays. Spoiler: the bill isn't forgiving. Minimum payment, the sneaky option that ruins your life. The minimum payment seems harmless, right? You only pay a little, and life goes on. But over time, those little payments add up, and you'll end up spending years paying off one pair of shoes you bought on a whim. Minimum payment is the gateway drug to credit card debt. Trust me, run away from it. Why everyone thinks cashback is free money. Cashback, it sounds so tempting. 1% here, 2% there, and we think we're winning. But when you're spending more than you should to earn a little cash back, you're not actually winning. You're just playing yourself. Cashback is only a good deal if you're controlling your spending and not spending to earn points. Travel rewards cards, when you collect miles but can't afford the plane ticket. We all know someone who's always talking about their travel rewards points, but when the time comes to book the flight, the tickets are still $500. You've collected thousands of miles, but they're not getting you anywhere. Travel rewards are great in theory, but reality check, you'll still need to pay for the plane ticket unless you plan your spending wisely. Case study. I tried using my miles for a free flight. Turns out, I needed more miles for free tickets than I could realistically earn in a year. So much for that vacation on a budget. That feeling when you swipe declined in public, embarrassment 101. And who can forget the embarrassment of swiping your card only for the machine to say, declined. There you are, trying to pay for your groceries, and suddenly you're the person everyone's watching. It's not a good feeling, but it happens to the best of us. Just remember, it's not the end of the world. But it might be the end of your pride. So, there you have it, the crazy, chaotic world of credit cards. They can help you, they can hurt you, but if used wisely, they don't have to ruin your life. If you've learned anything from today's podcast, it's this: avoid those minimum payments, don't fall for cashback traps, and never let your rewards points dictate your spending habits. Be smart with your credit cards, and let's all live to swipe another day. Call to action. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit that like button, subscribe for more tips, and share this with your friends who need a good laugh and maybe a good financial wake-up call. Drop your own credit card horror stories in the comments below. Until next time, keep swiping wisely. Disclaimer. The content in this video podcast, Credit Cards, a Blessing and a Curse Laughing Through the Debt, is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed do not constitute financial, legal, or professional advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor or expert before making any financial decisions. The examples shared are meant to be humorous and relatable, but they may not reflect the experiences of everyone. We do not endorse or promote irresponsible credit card use, and encourage viewers to manage their finances responsibly.